It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to Expresso here on SABC3. Definitely your feel-good breakfast show on this Feel-Good Friday. Now, I must tell you, I have heard some truly amazing stories in my life, but today has to be right up there with the best of them. Brian Berkman, well-known PR man, restaurant critic, and a man who had a very great appetite for good food, embarked on a huge challenge in July of 2011. At 153 kilograms, he decided to rather have an appetite for life, and he thus began his journey to a healthier and happier life. Brian is here today to share with us how he managed to lose 72 kilograms. Good morning, Brian. How are you?
Good morning, Leanna. I'm fine. I'm light.
I can see that. You look so amazing. If I had just met you on the street, would never have known that you've just come through a year and a half of probably the most transformative process of your whole life.
Absolutely.
But I think everybody wants to know right now from you, how did you manage to lose 72 kilograms in a year and a half?
Well, I made the decision that I would change my life. And I think that was the first step.
Yeah.
And following a diet of no starch, a few carbohydrates, high protein, no sugar, no alcohol. And that really gave me the kind of the energy to do this. And seeing the weight coming off actually really enthused me and saying, well, I can do this now.
Now this is, of course, you.
Wow.
This is you. I don't recognize these two people.
I think it's the TV that makes me so fat.
But now tell me, at what point did you decide to lose this weight? Because a lot of people...
It was actually at this point.
Yeah.
When this photograph was taken, I'd actually already been to see a surgeon about possibly having the stomach shrinking surgery.
Yeah.
And I was going to do that. I thought it wasn't possible to lose weight any other way, but it is.
Yeah, yeah.
And so my diabetes was out of control. My blood pressure was through the roof. And I had to do something. And I was actually uncomfortably heavy. Every time I moved, it was heavy.
Yeah.
And I just made the decision that I was now going to go for the surgery. And it was really accidents that happened that the surgery was delayed.
Yes.
And by which time I was already losing weight.
Yeah.
And I thought, I can do it.
That's incredible.
I think what's so amazing is that when we believe something about ourselves, we're limited by that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had to see that I could lose small amounts of weight to say, well, actually, I can lose weight.
Yeah.
And anyone can.
Yeah. And that's really the key, isn't it? Because I think what a lot of people forget is that we don't pick up weight in a week. We don't pick up 100 kilos in a week. So it's not going to take us a week to lose it.
Exactly.
It really is going to take a process of dedication. What were some of the most difficult parts for you in this entire process?
Well, by far the most difficult thing was my mum passed away in June last year, right in the middle of my diet process.
Wow.
And I said to myself, if I can stick to my diet now, nothing, really, a parent dying is like up there with the worst things to happen. And I thought if I can stick to it in this environment, I can stick to it in any environment. And so when things were difficult, the more difficult they were, it actually became easier for me to hold on to. And I think that's a lesson that I've learned, is that we expect things to be easy in life, but why should they be? Anything that's really worth having is worth fighting for, including losing weight.
Yeah.
So it is difficult, but it's not as difficult as I imagined it would be.
Wow.
And I think that's my message for people, is it's not easy, but it's also not as difficult as you think.
Yeah. Well, that is profoundly inspiring, and I know that there are so many people maybe sitting at home right now who are struggling with weight. I know that it's a deeply emotional thing, it's a deeply psychological thing as well. But what would some of the tips be that you can give people that are struggling with weight, who have struggled their whole lives maybe, and just can't get a handle on it?
I saw a cognitive behavioral therapist, and I thought what was really useful was just to sit down, draw up a list of pros and cons, be clear about why do I want to lose weight. So you kind of know, it's on the paper in front of you. And then I would actually read that list to myself often when I thought I'm struggling. So be clear about why you want to lose weight, important. The second thing is to plan, and plan your meals at least a day in advance. I actually had prepared meals for tomorrow's meals would already be cooked and ready in the fridge, so that I was never in the sense of what I'm going to eat next. So shop and plan. When I'm eating, don't do anything else. I used to be on my phone, iPad, watching TV. Now I just eat sitting at a table. I think that's a big thing to do. And ask for support. There are lots of support networks. I'm involved with Sleek Geek, which is an online forum. You can really get support from anybody. Just ask for it.
Brian, you look absolutely incredible. I must say, you look like a completely different man. You are happier, you are healthier, and I know that people are probably going to want to get hold of you, and you can do so on our Facebook page and, of course, on our website page as well. So thank you so much for joining us this morning. You look amazing.
Thank you, Leanne.
Well, we're heading outside to Kat, and he is with the beautiful and the incredibly talented Notende.